Let me make sure I'm live on every platform real quick. What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Hopefully you all can hear me. Let me mute real
Make
quick.
sure I'm live.
Dope, 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 dope. So look, y'all, appreciate y'all for coming out, showing love, coming through. I feel like I'm trying to get better at these lives. I'm trying to do better on these lives, becoming consistent with you all. Before we even get started, what I want to do, and bear with me real quick, I want to make sure that all my peoples know that I'm hopping on. All right. I don't want it to just be just you all. Just to give a disclaimer, these lives, if you're on Instagram, I'm letting you know right now, I'm only keeping the recording on YouTube. I'm not keeping the recording on Instagram. I'm only keeping it on YouTube. All right. So if you guys got any questions, um, leave them in the chat. I'm gonna respond to all of them. I'm definitely wanting to make sure that you all um, can just completely ask me any questions that you like, because I'm always here to give as much value as I possibly can. Okay. So, Instagram, if you got any questions, holla at your boy. I want to make sure to answer all of them. But give me 1 second, y'all. I want to make sure that I'm sending this out to everyone so they can hop on. So, give me 1 second. Y'all bear with me. All right, bear with me real quick. This new live stream thing, I'm trying to make sure I get a little flow with it. So bear with me real quick. I'm using a whole new software instead of, like, if you're on Instagram, usually y'all see me on the phone, but I'm trying to use something a little bit different because I'm streaming on all platforms. All right, so bear with me real quick. Um, but I just want to let y'all know that today, the topic of today, I'm letting you all know is that you're not thinking big enough. Okay, that's the topic. You're not thinking big enough. And the thing is that I want you all to start thinking bigger than you've ever thought before, because how you're thinking right now is holding you back. I'm going to be honest. How you all are thinking right now is holding you all back. So what I want to do is give you all some tactics, give you all some ways that will help you take yourself to the next level and the family around you to the next level. Okay, because at the end of the day, this is still all about family. This is still all about um, taking you all to the next level as a culture, right? um, Let me make sure that these people know what's going on. Y'all bear with me real quick. My bad for the hold up. My bad for the hold up. Give me 1 second, y'all. No, you would think that I'd be ready, but when it comes to these things, when it comes to this right here, I guess I'm not ready. We about to be ready though. We about to be. Give me 1 second, y'all. My stuff acting up. Now things want to act up right now. Here we go. There we go. All right. Bet it up. I'm just making sure that everyone knows, y'all. Sorry for the hold up. Sorry for the hold up. I just want to make sure that everybody can hop on here. Like I said, I'm not. I'm doing something new. You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to just make sure that everybody knows what's going on. Dang. What am I doing, y'all? What am I doing? This is why this is why having a team is crucial. My team right now is out, so now I got to do it. Crazy, right? All right, bet. There we go. Now the hard part is over with. All right, bet. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. My bad, y'all. My bad. My bad. My bad. Let's get to it. So that's my question. How did you and your family pull together to create y'all's business? Great question. Great question. Great question. All right. So the way that we put ourselves together as a family business, and I'll kind of just really break this down as a whole and take my time on this because it's actually very important. So back in 2017, 18, somewhere around there, 16, I want to say 17, 18, my mother was in this specific network marketing business that was teaching everybody how to trade. And if you're big into the trading space, I know I was known for trading initially, but if you're big into the trading space, then you will know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So they were we were pretty much into this trading space at the moment. And then our mom kind of like forced us into it. She was like, well, if you're going to live in this house, the family house, because this is the family house now, it's not like her house anymore. What we're developing now is having different houses for different purposes. And this is really taking, like I said, thinking bigger, but this is going to be the family house. This family house is going to be up under a trust. But what she said is if you're going to live in this house, then you're going to learn this skill. And if not, you're going to leave. And so that kind of put a gear that just kicked some gear up under us. That really was like, oh, dang, now I got to actually, I just came back from college at the time, literally 6 months in from college. I think it was 2017, or it might have been a year in from college. And I get an ultimatum saying I need to learn this skill or I'm out the door. Right. And so I learned the skill. From there, I got really interested in the skill. I got really um, it was really something that I was enjoying overall, right? So because I started enjoying it overall, um, that's when I fell in love with the concept of being in business, right? First, it started off, at least with me personally, it started off with falling in love with business. Okay. And so then when that happened, that's when I started teaching on different platforms and actually created my own platform and my own fan base from trading. And then from there, I invited my mother on to be like, hey, you're great at crypto. How about you teach on crypto? And so we kind of just tag team different things. And so because we were tag teaming, we actually started innately creating a family business without actually knowing that we were creating a family business, right? So this is where you want to make sure that you all are. What my mother did is she set ourselves up and she put in alignment. She put us in alignment, right? To be in family business, be in business with each other. That's what my mother did innately, which I'm not surprised because I've been seeing my mother take us to the next level year after year after year, as she's out here working, getting things done, traveling all the time, all these great things that we all see on a day-to-day basis, right? So, but like that's really what she was doing at that time. Let me see what I want to see if y'all can y'all hear me out here? I just want to make sure y'all can hear me. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that y'all can actually hear me. Let me listen to myself real quick. Okay, cool. Y'all can hear me. Perfect. All right, so like that's really where it came down to, right? So what she was doing was she put a seed in us, and that's what made us get into business. Now, the family business came over time after nurturing. Our mom started teaching me how to actually speak. So the reason why I'm able to speak to you all the way that I'm able to speak to you all right now is because my mother planted seeds and said, "Hey, you want to speak like this for people to be receptive, not for people to hear you, but for people to understand and be receptive." Right. So our mom started putting me on leadership books, on this type of book, on this type of book. Watch this video, watch this video. And so she kind of, like I said, she put in alignment of what I should be listening to, what I should be watching to actually make me a better person and a better individual overall, right? So she planted a seed at a very, very young age. Okay, that's what she did. She planted a seed, and I think when it comes to families, they you want to make sure that they're planting that seed, right? I feel like that is so important. Please, for the love of God, plant the seed early. My mom had me public speak at the age of 11 and cold call at the age of 8, and then planted the seed when I got out of college to actually um, learn a skill set, how to speak to people when you're on a live. These different things she planted really, really early. Okay, so I want you all to literally take this and run with it, right? Um, like this is what she did, right? And because of that, like that's what really bonded and grew and molded the family business structure over time. Now, the family business model was created only this year. That's when we actually started pushing it. But like the actual family business started, I would say if we started in 2018, because I remember it was 2018 when we started trading after I think about it. 2018, then I would say we started the family business in 2020 over pandemic. I would say pandemic really glued everything together because you're forced to stay at home. You're forced to do a lot of different things, right? So I would say that that really is what put us over the edge when it came to really the family business structure of things, right? So like I said, if you all got any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the chat. I'm here to answer all questions. And people on Instagram, share this live with 5 people and comment the word done, right? Because I want people to get this knowledge. I want people to get this value on here. I'm here to answer all questions. Any questions you all have, I'm talking about from credit, business credit, family dynamics, corporate structuring, how to build a LLC, how to like I said, how to really get detailed on how to build a family business. All these different things I'm here to answer for all of you all because I want to make sure that you all are winning, right? But the whole goal of me hopping on here, like I said, the at the end of the day, it's about unlearning what you're learning right now and thinking bigger. You will have to think a lot bigger than you think you are right now. You think you're thinking bigger, but I promise you, you're not thinking as big as you need to and as big as you're supposed to. And let me explain why. There's a concept that I learned from a family office company in Asia, right? If you're not familiar with what a family office is, there's 2 types of family offices. Um, a single family office and a multi-family office. A family office period is actually the highest form of wealth. This is where family businesses start building start buying other family businesses or buying other businesses period. And so when you start buying businesses, you start accumulating wealth in a certain way where you're able to grow wealth generationally, right? And so when it comes to building wealth, the way that you um I heard the concept of when she was talking about building wealth, and she said that what the difference between an average business owner or an average family member and an average family business owner. So let me rephrase: a person that the difference between a regular business owner that is a family member and then a person that is a family business owner is generational thinking. That is the entire difference between the two concepts, right? And so the reason why I say that is because you actually have to think broader, longer, bigger than you are right now. You have to. You have to think a lot broader, longer, and bigger. You have to have a generational thinking mindset. There was a guy, and I always mentioned on the lives because it really blew my mind on how he was thinking. He said he has a lot of real estate. And what he did is he has a portion of his real estate designated for his grandchildren. Not his children, not his actual children, his grandchildren. He's building generational wealth early. And so he's having Generational. He has generational thinking. He has become a generational thinker, right? So the thing is, can you all actually conform your minds, mold your minds to say, okay, what can I do today that'll set my children and my grandchildren up for success later? What business do I need to create? What businesses do I need to buy? What real estate do I need to buy? How am I going to leave the legacy? Right? These are things that I want you all to actually think of. So I see that my 3i 72 said, how do you do an LLC? Like, do you have to have a business plan right away to do an LLC? Great question, right? Great question. So when it comes to creating an LLC, you first want to go to the Secretary of State, whatever state that you're currently in, and you want to create an LLC, right? The key thing that what most people do is they create an LLC that is very niche down. That's not what you want to do. You want to create an LLC that is extremely broad. The broader it is, the more funding you receive, the more money you can make under that LLC. There are certain LLC types that are restricted, that will say to a bank, no, I don't want to fund you. Like that, there are actual restrictions when it comes to those types. It's called an NAISC code. um you want to put business consulting. You don't want to put I'm a finance person. You don't want to put that, I'm in real estate. You don't want to put that, that I'm in other different things. You want to put that I'm a business consultant or a consultant. What that does is then they're going to ask you, well, what do you do? Oh, what I do is I grow businesses. It's so broad. They can't. How do you grow businesses? I built them from the ground up. You want to be as broad as possible. Do you get what I'm saying? And so what that does is they aren't saying, oh, this person's in the crypto industry. Oh, boom. Now that they're in the crypto industry, I don't like, because the thing is, banks don't like to compete with other people. Banks are there for financing. They're financing real estate, they're financing houses, they're financing people. But if you're doing the same thing they're doing, then they're not going to give you any real estate. They're not going to give you any funding. They're not going to give you anything. Right? And I say anything for a reason, right? So, do you have to have a business plan right away to do an LLC? I would suggest doing a business plan. Yes. When? Before. Because what's going to happen is you are going to have to go to these banks, and they're going to probably ask for certain things, and they may ask for a business plan. I doubt that they'll ask for a business plan. I've never heard of somebody having a business plan. But actually, I heard of one or two people needing a business plan. But I would suggest you actually create a business plan first. There are actually like 17 things you need in order to establish business credit, right? Okay, let me rephrase. I'm confusing myself. Excuse me. When it comes to developing an LLC, you do not need a business plan. When it comes to developing business credit, you do need a business plan. So if you're creating an LLC, one of their criteria is not to upload your business plan. So you don't need a business plan for your LLC. You need a business plan when establishing business credit. Because when you're applying for funding, they're going to ask for certain things that will require your business plan. Okay? So there are like 17, 18 different things that you need to develop business credit. One, you need an LLC, right? Second thing is you need an EIN number. Then you need a Duns and Brads number. You need a NAV. You need a 411. You need an 800 number. You need a virtual address, a virtual phone number, a virtual website. You need to be on Google. You need to be on Google Business, right? You need a business plan. You need what are other things that you need? I'm trying to think off the top of my head, y'all. The NAISC code. You need there's another thing. What's another one? I can't remember off the top of my head. But like these are all I named like 11 things out of 17. I couldn't Unfortunately I can't remember all 17 off the top of my head. I have a list though. If you want the list, then I got you. Right? I'll drop something down for you all. If you actually want the list, if you actually just want to, just know how it works, and you're like, yo, I just need guidance on this, on how to actually set it up. What I'll do is I'll put the link in the chat for you to apply. Free consultation call. Costs you nothing to be on this call. Okay. Literally click the link, right, to be on the call, and it's an easy thing. right? But like that's some of the lists that you need. If the other parts of the list that are actually crucial, I just cannot remember. Like some of these are crucial things you need on the list. Book the call, and we'll actually get you on the list, right? So, and you'll actually join our actual family dynasty program, right? We even got one of them on here. Paciencia, what's going on? Right? One of our mentees is already on here, and she knows the list. The list is in the resources section. You get what I'm saying? So she knows it. So I want you all to literally like grasp what I'm saying right now, right? Grasp what I'm saying right now. It's super crucial for you all to understand. Like I said, any questions that you all have, let me know. Let me know on all the questions. I just want to make sure that you all are able, that I'm still running on Instagram and all these other platforms. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. We running the bag right now. All right, so this is literally what we're doing. Um, this is literally what we're doing on a daily basis, y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna give you all the whole structure of how you're supposed to set yourself up. Let me write this down. Let me draw this out for y'all, so y'all know I'm not playing no games over here. All right, let's draw this out. Let me grab this for y'all to know exactly. I'm telling you exactly what you need to do. Let's write this out. You know what I'm saying? Let's not waste no time. Let's make sure y'all know. And we all know that we visual learners here. Let's stop playing. You know what I'm saying? We visual learners over here. So let me show you exactly what to do. And everybody on Instagram, if you're wanting to see what I'm drawing, go over to YouTube, because I know Instagram only sees a portion of this, right? So I'm gonna pop this up real quick. Y'all can see me. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Right? So this is you. This is you. You need to have a 680 credit score minimum, right? In order to get something called personal credit. Now, with your personal credit, I want y'all to understand your credit score is based off of your credit report. So there are certain things you need on your credit report. You need something called a mixed profile, right? Which is like mixed accounts. This is like revolving accounts, installments, what else? These are like different things you actually need on your account. Okay. What else you need? You need at minimum, bare minimum, y'all. You need 2 to 3 credit cards. And actually, I'm gonna do it this way for people on Instagram: 2 to 3 credit cards with minimum 2.5K on the account. Okay. And actually, for the people on Instagram, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rewrite this so this can be smaller for you all. I mean, it can fit in your screen, right? I'm gonna rewrite this for y'all. Okay. I want to make sure y'all see this. So let's talk about it, right? So we got you. Oops, let me write this. So we got you. You need a 680 credit score. And then we're going to put PC for personal credit. You need to have a mixed profile. Mixed pro means mixed profile, y'all. Just want to put that out there. You need a mixed profile. You need to have 2 to 3 credit cards with minimum 2.5K on them. Okay? Bare minimum. Absolute bare minimum. Okay? Then, afterwards, you need no derogatories. I'm gonna put DG for no derogatories. Okay. If you have that, you will 1,000% guaranteed have the 680 credit score. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. This is not an option. This is not like a choice. This is guaranteed. You will have a 680 credit score if you do these 3 things. Guaranteed. Now the issue is, okay, well, Marcus, what if I have like a 500 or so? If I have a 500, what do I need to do? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Step number one, y'all. Step number one is you need to repair your credit score. That's step number one. Please repair your credit score. You know what I'm saying? Repair your credit score. The way that you repair it is you need to make sure that anything that is inaccurate, and do not, if I'm spelling these things wrong, y'all, please don't judge me. All right? Anything inaccurate or incomplete needs to be deleted off of your credit report. It needs to be deleted, gone, a wrap. Okay? It needs to be deleted, right? So your personal information, if your personal information has addresses, delete it. If you have an account that has different dates, delete it. If you have an account that, let's say, has different amounts of debt that you owe, delete it. Right? So the way that if you have like 20 increase, you should only, oh, I forgot. Yeah. I forgot that. Right? Another thing, you need to have max 2 to 3 increase. If you have any more than 2 to 3 increase, delete it. You can call them and get the inquiries deleted. Actually, if you're not aware, you can call Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, and get them deleted. That's what you can do. Okay. So that's what you need to do. That's step number one, repairing your credit. Step number two, build your credit. Okay. When you're building your credit, this is where we start developing something called mix. So you want to have revolving accounts. You want to have installment accounts. You want to have a car note. You want to have a house. Now, if you're not in, let's be realistic here, okay? If you're not in the space to get a house, then you don't need a house. Okay? let's just put that out there, okay? If you're not at the space where you need a house, then you don't need a house. Are you catching my drift? Put a 1 in the chat if you catching my drift right now. Like I just want to be completely honest. Like there's no need for you to have a house if you're like 12 years old and you're trying to establish credit, or you're 18 years old trying to establish credit. There's absolutely no need for you to have a house. Okay? So these are like different things, right? So you're building your credit with these type of mixed credit. So you may have, let's say you may have 2 revolvings, 5 installments, 1 car note, 1 house, 7, 8, 9. So what you want to do, if you have 7, if you're not aware, you want to have minimum 11 to 12. So what I would actually do, let's delete this. So if this is 2, that means we need 10 more. That means I would have 5 of each. 5 installments, 5 revolving. Okay? 5 installments, 5 revolving, 1 car note, 1 house. If you don't have a house, then get another installment or get another revolving. Right? Hey, Miss Marcia, how are you? Those are the things that you want to have, right? And you're probably wondering, hey, how exactly do I repair? Let's talk about it. How you repair your credit, right? You can repair your credit in these key fashions. Okay, you can either use an agency, you can do it yourself. There's another one. Actually, I think that's it. I feel like there's another one, but I can't remember. You can either use an agency or you can use yourself to repair your credit. And they're going to do, I promise you, I would recommend you learn it yourself. And then if you so happen to use an agency, cool. But if you go to the agency side first, I'm going to give you a play. This is an Alex Hormozi play. If you don't know who Alex Hormozi is, you should probably get to know who he is. What he said was, this is what he said. He said, I would like to use your service, but I would only like to use your service for 6 months. And then 6 months to learn from you so I can learn it myself. And then I want you to just consult. I just want you to teach me everything so that I may be able to do it myself. So no matter what, you're still going to do the yourself thing, but it's just more of a long-term thing. You're learning from the agency that's actually doing it. This helps in a couple ways. One, it helps you get results, and it helps you vet. Vetting process is so important. Now, obviously, there is something called a pre and post vetting process. Okay. You should be vetting the people, vetting the credit agency before you even pay to make sure that they are straight. The way that you vet is you go by referrals, RF for referrals, and you go by other people's experience. And not only that, I forgot, and testimonials. That's the way that you vet over pre. Referrals, experience, testimonials when it comes to a credit agency or any agency at that, right? Post wise, you're going to do this. The information from the 6 months is going to tell you if they actually know what they're talking about. If they don't know what they're talking about, and you realize that they don't know what they're talking about. Now, you don't know what you don't know, but if you don't see, and what I mean by if they don't know what they're talking about is if you're not getting results within 3 months, 90 days, then they're not a good agency. If they're not updating you practically every other day, they're not a good agency. If they're not nurturing you every other day or every 3 days, they're not a good agency. That's pretty much what it is. Period. Okay? So, our clients, actually, our mentees at this current moment, is getting emails every day when it comes to stuff like that, right? So I just want to put that out there. Okay, so let's get back to business. So when it comes to repairing your credit, you want to repair your credit by deleting all the inaccurate and incomplete information that's on your credit report, excuse me, right? When you're coming to building, you want to have 11 to 12 accounts, right? That involves revolving, installments, car note, house, whatever. All of that should be in the in your account, your credit report. Okay. Now, after you have now gotten your personal credit together and you have a 680 credit score, now we're talking about business credit. Now it's time to establish business credit. And we've already discussed how exactly to establish business credit, right? You have your address, you have your phone number, you have your website, you have your NAISC code, you have your NAV, you have your Duns and Brad's number, you have a 411, you have a Google. Shoot, what else we got? Of course you got the LLC, you got the EIN number. Oh, here we go. I remembered one. You got the operating agreement. Um, what else? What else? Oh, here we go. Articles of incorporation, which should come with the LLC overall. Just want to put that out there, right? The red isn't coming in clear. All right, let me change that for y'all. We won't use red. So let's do this. Boom, we're gonna make that yellow. I hope that helps. So this is really where um I can't remember the other ones. I'm just trying to remember as I go. But you want to establish business credit. And so if you're not aware, business credit ranges from 1 to 100. Unlike personal credit ranges from 350 to 850. Okay? Business credit ranges from 1 to 100, and the secret number, the sweet number that you want to stay above is 85 and up. You want to be 85 and up. Okay? That's the number that you want to be. You want to be 85 and above. Okay? If you're 85 and above, then you're squared away. Okay? You're squared away on your business credit. And there are different ways to establish business credit. Okay? You can either go the tier method, or you can go straight for the application. If you're not aware of the tier method is you want to go into your net 30s, your net 60s, your net 90s, and then if it's your application or whatever, you're just going straight for the credit cards, right? So that can be like your Amex, that can be like your Chase, that can be a lot of different things, right? So you want to really you want to really dive into which tier you want to go in. Now the tiers takes a little bit longer. This takes you about 6 to 9 months. The application can take you like 30 to 90 days. Okay. So you have to be able to understand which route you want to take. Now the tier route, that's the con, is it takes longer, but the pro is it really builds the foundation. The con for the application is you do not have a foundation. You don't have a foundation. So like you could be denied because you don't really have the foundation in place. But you could just go ahead and apply for cards and get approved, which is cool. And if you're not aware, if you are applying for credit cards under your personal account, right? You will get, if you follow what I say, you will get, and this is non-negotiable. You will get, I said 25 year. You will get 25K in funding minimum. Absolute bare minimum. You will get 25K. Absolute bare minimum. Now, if you were to apply for a credit card under your business credit, the greatest thing about business credit is you will get 5x the amount from your personal. So that means you will get 125 bare minimum. I always say that you want to kind of always aim low. So I'm gonna always say 75 bare minimum. 75 bare minimum under your business credit. But I say 5 times, and this number is not something that I am coming out of my ass about, right? These are legit numbers. Okay, so you do want to actually pay attention to these things, right? So this is legit the workflow of business credit in a nutshell. Okay, this is literally how it goes, right? So after you get business credit, personal credit, this is really where the business credit comes in. Now let's talk about your LLCs. Okay, let's talk about your LLCs real quick. When it comes to LLCs, you want to make sure to structure your business the correct way. Structure your business the proper way. Okay, so this is what I mean. I'm going to start from the bottom. I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to start down here. Like I said, this is you, and you have, let's say, 3 LLCs. Let's say you have 3 LLCs. Okay, and let's say you have a spouse. Let's actually do it this way. Let's actually say you have 2 LLCs and your spouse has 1 LLC. Your spouse has 1 LLC. I'm telling you from a family perspective, and I'm breaking it all the way down. I want to make sure that you all have a firm understanding of what I'm saying. If you have 2 LLCs and your spouse has 1 LLC, each one of you need to have a holding company. Each one of you has to have a holding company. Why? Because you both are your own business owner. Even if you are partners, you still should have your own LLC individually, because you still are a walking business owner with or without your spouse. Okay? So if you are a business owner with or without your spouse, then you should have your own holdco. Holdco, if you're not aware, is a holding company. Okay? Now, this is where we really get crazy. This is where we get crazy. Your holding company should be connected to your family trust. Your holding company should be connected to your family trust. And like I said, y'all, share this live with 5 people and comment the word done. All right? Comment the word done. And if you all have any questions, please put them in the chat because I want to make sure I'm answering all questions. Okay? And just a little intervention here. If you all are wondering, hey, how can I actually work with you? How can I learn this information in much more detail? What I'm going to do is put the link in the chat for you all to work with me, for you all to be able to connect with a brother. Apply. Telling you, apply. This is not for the weak-hearted, y'all. This is for the people who are serious and not curious. All right. If you want to learn how to establish this for your business, okay, that's really how you do it. That's a great question. Should I make your name an LLC? Great question. Okay. We're going to talk about that in a second. So when it comes to after your family business, your family trust, excuse me. After you create your family trust, what's above it should be a ministry trust. Now, if you're wondering, hey, what exactly is a ministry trust? A ministry trust is a trust that helps separates your business from the state. And guess what benefits happen when you separate yourself from the state? You are able to defer, or you're exempt from the taxes that are included if you are a personal individual in the state. So I'm gonna give you an example. What most people do is they put their house in the family trust because it's a family house. But what if you put your house in a ministry trust? Well, guess what it is? Guess what's deferred? Property taxes. If you put a house in a ministry trust, you are exempt from paying property taxes. Okay? That's the greatest part. You are exempt from paying property taxes. So and ministry trust is just a faith-based organization. That's why it's exempt. Back in the day, of course, we all know that um of course we all know that that religion and politics and science didn't go together. They didn't work well together, right? And so what they did, especially with religion, since it was such a huge thing, is they separated it from the state as if it was its own organization, aka a faith-based organization. And so what they did is the faith-based organization classified themselves technically as their own state, which means they paid their own taxes and were exempt from the from the state taxes that were given, or the federal taxes that were given. Okay, so that's why a ministry trust is so important, because you can classify what exactly a faith-based organization is for you. It does not have to be religious. It does not have to be anything revolving around faith if you don't want it to. It could be just because you felt like calling it a faith-based organization. And that's fine, because it's your trust and you are able to make that decision. But this is really where the discussions really go into. This is where the corporate structuring matters. If you were to put your ministry trust above your family trust, and your family trust above your holding company, and your holding company above your LLCs, and your LLCs are owned by you, then guess what? You don't have to pay certain taxes. And that's why corporate structuring is super important, which is how Donald Trump is exempt from paying so many tax benefits. So many taxes. Because he uses this structure to not pay taxes. And it's legal. It's just learning the tax code, y'all. It's just learning different tax strategies to get yourself out from paying so much taxes. I have a friend, Carter Cofield. All he does is talk about, you want to not leave a tip when you're paying your taxes. You want to pay taxes but not leave a tip. Then there are people who are saying, no. I don't even want to leave a tip. I don't want to pay taxes, period. Uncle Sam isn't touching my money. And if you're going to have it where you don't pay certain taxes, then cool. Use this strategy and you don't have to pay the taxes that you want to pay for. Okay. Now, I got a great I think it's my 333I72 had asked, okay, should my name be the name of the LLC? Absolutely, 1,000%. What we're talking about now is something called converting your personal name, which is a liability, to a business asset, right? So if you're not aware, your personal name is associated with the United States. The United States is not a country, it is a corporation. So if you have a name and a social security number that is associated with the United States, then you are liable to pay any taxes, any debts that exist under that name. But if you were to shift your personal name into an LLC, and the way that you would do that is you would name it, let's say, John Doe LLC. You only want to use your first and last name. If you were to do that, then guess what? You don't exist personally. You exist only in the business. You're not going to operate off the personal. You're not going to move off the personal. You're only going to move on business. Guess what you should do with your social security? Your social security should now be an EIN number. So that means I'm only operating under my EIN number. Everything that I apply for, any credit that I'm establishing, everything should be up under my EIN number. That means I'm setting up a new 680 credit score under my EIN number. Forget the Social Security. If you have bad credit, create an EIN number and then establish credit under your EIN number. Now you ain't got to worry about repairing it. If you really want to learn the cheat code, right? So this is where you are really taking your family to the next level, because picture learning this information and teaching it to your family. Picture that. There's so many different things that you can do when it comes to learning this information. It's all about knowledge. It's all about knowledge, right? So this is super important. This is all, like I said, dealing with your business credit, establishing an LLC. Now, I mentioned a lot about trusts, and I put a poll on my Instagram about, hey, what do you all enjoy about my content, or what do you want to learn more about? And then y'all said trusts, so I'm going to break it down on this call about trusts, right? Trust is so important, y'all. It's so important. But this is the key thing, right? This is the key thing. Trust does not matter if you do not have something called generational thinking. If you are not a generational thinker, then it does not matter. If you are not a generational thinker, then nothing that I'm saying right now is going to even get through your skull. You have to think bigger in order for you to get bigger. Okay? I want everybody to put in the chat, how much money do you want to make a year? In the chat. How much money do you want to make per year? Let me know in the chat. There's a specific reason why I'm asking you this question. How much money do you want to make in a year? Whatever the number, cool. But I want you to understand something. The first number that you think about, if your first number, let's say, for example, was 100K a year, the first number that you thought about in your head is the number that you're comfortable with. That's why you can fathom it. That's not becoming a generational thinker. That's the first thing that you're comfortable with. But if you were to actually double what you originally thought how is the money that you want to make, then now you're thinking bigger. So whatever your goal is, double it. So if it was 100K, put 200K. Then I like to do another exercise, right? Because what happens is this is the one that you're comfortable with. This is the one that's like stretching. This is the one that you're stretching, right? But like this isn't making you a generational thinker though. That's the thing. That number isn't making you a generational thinker. It's making you just comfortable with stretching your mind. or just making you uncomfortable. Let's just say that. It's just making you uncomfortable. But are you actually stretching your mind? So what do I always say? I say, all right, cool. I always like to do the 10x method with Grant Cardone. What I want you to do is 10x that number. 10x the number you've already stretched. And it can, and you can't say, oh, I want unlimited, I want infinite, I want as much money as I want. No, you need a number. Your mind can only grasp the number that you have given in the head. You can only grasp. So what is 200,000? Guess what? 2 million. You're getting two M's. Now we talking generational thinking. Actually, I lied. That's not even generational thinking. Now you're just thinking. Now you're actually thinking about wealth. But guess what? $2 million is not enough to beat something called inflation. It's not enough to beat inflation. Unfortunately, it's not enough to beat inflation. So guess what you have to do? What is it? What used to happen? What's crazy is 20. What was it? 20 years ago, a six-figure earner, $120,000 a year was a good number. $120,000 a year was like making not 20. Yeah, 20 years ago or 30 years ago was like making $1 million. 20 or 30 years ago. But now it's because inflation is so high, $1 million is no longer valued at $1 million. $1 million now is $100,000 because of inflation. So what should be your new target? Guess what? I'm gonna put this in a different color because this is generational thinking. Your number should be bare minimum 10 million. GT for generational thinking. This is where your mind should be stretched. And you're probably thinking, Marcus, I didn't even think about 200K. How could I make 10 million and I don't even know if I can make 200K? I don't even know if I can make 100K. Don't worry about how. The issue is your brain will naturally try to figure out how. You need to focus on manifesting and put in the work. So work backwards. 10 mil? Okay, what I got to do to make 10 mil? What exactly? Let's talk about the numbers real quick. Now we're talking about the language of money, which I was going to talk about in the next live, but I'm going to touch on today. We're going to talk about the language of money at the same time. We're talking 10 mil. How can I make 10 mil? What exactly do I need to do to make 10 million? Easy. Let me break it down for you. You can either sell something for $1 and sell it 10 million times, or you can create it for $10 and sell it 1,000,000 times, or you can sell it for $100 and then sell it for 100,000 times, or you can sell it for 1,000 and only sell it 10,000 times. Did I do that math right? If it's 1 0 0 0 0 0 0, boom, boom. Yeah, I was right. Then if you sell it 10,000 times, if you sell something for $10,000, you only have to sell it. See, I knew I was doing the math wrong. I definitely did the math wrong. So let's do the math right. If I have 100 times 100K, that's 10 million. 1,000 times 10K is 10 million. I'm right. And so if 10,000, we're going to get this number right. Oh yeah, it's 1K. I was right. You could sell something for $10,000 for 1,000. I mean, you could sell something for $10,000 to 1,000 people, or you could sell something for 100K and sell it to 100 people, or you could sell something for 1 million to 10 people, or you can sell something to 10 million for one person. Think about that. Now that you know what you need to do to make 10 million, now you just pick one. That's the thing. That's the thing. You just pick one. Which one do you want to do? But the thing is, you have to be confident in which one that you pick. Now I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give you the secret code on what's like the sweet spot right now. right? This is the sweet spot. And if you really want to be confident, you could do that. Now, what you could be, if you want to start off, you could do this. Ooh. If you want to start off, you could do this one. So I would say these are kind of like your sweet spots right now. This section is your sweet spot. This is your sweet spot right now. So now the question is, okay, now that I picked one, now that I picked a section, now I absolutely have to just pick one. So if I pick one, which one do I want to pick? What's very popular right now that you could just do a webinar on is you could sell something for $1,000 to 10,000 people. So now if I want to make 10 million a year, now that I've picked one, let's say I picked $1,000 and I got to sell it to 10,000 people. What do I need to do? Let's be real. What's 10,000 divided by 12? That's 833 people per month. Okay, cool. I have to sell to 833 people a month. Now, how can I get 833 people to pay attention to what I have going on? I'm going to give you the free version right here. You could make one reel or TikTok video and you can get 800 views in one day. And if at the end of that view has something called a call to action, then now you have 800 people watching your stuff. Now, it's not that simple because there's something called a conversion rate. And usually what happens is if I get 800 people to watch my video, usually 1% of them will actually do something. And it may even be less, but we're going to go with the actual 1%. So that means 8 people will execute. That means I got 800. That means I got 800 more to go pretty much. So what do I need to do? I need to consistently push out content. Or guess what? That's just on one platform. That's just IG. What if you posted this video on YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn? What other platforms are out there, right? So if you got 8, let's say off this 5, you got 8. That means now 30 people could convert off this. So picture this here. Picture this. You had 30 people that actually said, you know what? I'm going to execute on this. Picture that. And I'm saying 800 views, and you can do this on accident. I mean, you could literally post yourself walking and get 800 views. Literally. Like, I'm literally not joking. Like, literally do it tomorrow. Post yourself walking, and you could legit get 800 views. And say nothing. Maybe put some music on it or something. And you could get 800 views. But what if you posted, this is just one time posting. What if you posted 3 times a day? Let's multiply this by 3. Times 3, that's 90. 90 people a day actually pay attention to what you're doing. So guess what? That's 100. Let's round this to 100 real quick. Let's round this to 100. So you're telling me, Marcus, if I post for 8 days straight, I could get 800 people a month? 1,000%. 1,000%. And guess what? It all derived from 10,000. So if you wanted to make 10 million, all you have to do is post 3 times a day, get 800 views. And then have a call to action at the end. And if you do it the correct way, and if your stuff is interesting, you will have people that look at it. Now, like I said, this is if the conversion rate is 1%. I would research what the conversion rate for each one of the platforms are and do the math. You can make 10 million if you really wanted to. If you were to do everything that I just mentioned here today, you could make 10 million. So guess this, right? Going back to what we were saying. This has everything to do with generational thinking, y'all. I just showed you all the exact blueprint of how you could make 10 million by just thinking bigger. That's it. Thinking bigger. And you're not doing a lot of work based on what I'm saying right here. You're not, right? So when I talk about trust, here, because that was the whole point of the topic. When I talk about trust, you have 3 different types of trust that I want you to pay attention to. You have the family trust, the ministry trust, and the business trust, aka private. These are the different types of trust that exist on the market right now. Okay? These are the different types of trust that you want to pay attention to. And so you're probably wondering, well, we talked about family and ministry, Marcus, but like, what about the business trust? Well, anything that is about your business goes in the business trust. So you have LLCs, you have S corps, you have C corps, you have real estate, you have businesses. All these things go up under the trust. So Marcus, you're telling me I can put them up under there 1,000%. So guess what the holding company could be? It could be your business trust. Your holding company, all trusts are entities. They're just entities, which means that your trust can play as a as an LLC, as an S corp, as a this, that, it could play as whatever you want. It could play as whatever you want. So you're probably wondering, well, Marcus, I know you talked about businesses can be up under, you know, the business, but what about the ministry? Well, your house can be up under the ministry. Your whole corporation is up under the ministries based on what we just talked about. And you can only have one house per ministry trust. You can't have 14 houses up under one ministry trust and all 14 of them get property tax deferred. No, you have to create what wealthy people do. Because think of it, there's 2 reasons why that's the case. Picture if someone were to come for any of your assets. Let's say they were to come for your ministry trust and they won, and you have all 14 of them up under one ministry trust. Guess what? That lawsuit won, and now they own all 14 of your assets. That's one reason why you don't want it that way. The second reason is the actual law states that you can't have one house. You can only have one house that can defer property taxes. So the greatest way that you can do that is just create another ministry trust. Create as many ministry trusts as you want, and put each real estate up under that ministry trust. And now each real estate is deferring property taxes. Now, when it comes to family, right? When it comes to family, what's great about the family is you can put jewelry up under here. You can put vehicles on under here. You can do a lot of different things up under the family trust. A lot of different things up under the family trust, right? You could put and like I said, this is your business under here. You can do a lot of different things, y'all. A lot of different things up under here. So I'm hoping that this is really I'm breaking it down very extensively for a reason, because I want you all to be able to get it. I want you to get it. So here's another hack before I close out, y'all. Before I close out, here's another hack. You're probably wondering, well, Marcus, if I have an LLC, how do I have my holding company own my LLC? How do I do that? How can I have my LLC? Because my LLC is in my name. Great question, Marcus. The way that you do that is something called an amendment. You want to amend the LLC in the articles of incorporation. The articles of incorporation should have the holding company. The operating agreement, though, has your name. Think about what I just said right here. Think about what I just said. The articles of incorporation, So legally speaking, the articles of incorporation has the holding company. But when you go to get that money, to get the funding, it has to be in your name. So you're going to put the name in the operating agreement because you own the holding company. So you're legally you're able to put it under the operating agreement because you own it, right? So I'm telling you, this is the way that the game works. This is how people are killing the game right now with trust, business, all types of stuff, y'all. That's how they're doing it. I'm telling you, that's how they're making the money, y'all. They're not making it, and then it's not coming out of their ass. It's literally from work. I'm telling you, I cannot make this up. Okay? Operating agreement has your name, articles of incorporation has your holding company, and you want to amend it for that to be the case. Then, like I mentioned before, then you have your family trust and then your ministry trust. This holding company can be your business trust if you want it to. Or if you already have a holding company, cool, Marcus. Guess what you can do? Let's talk about it. Guess what you can do? You can have your business trust and then have your family trust and then have your ministry trust. It don't matter. However your goal is in life. I want you to understand when it comes to establishing this, because this is talking about estate planning. When it comes to estate planning, and a trust is one piece of estate planning, if you're not aware. Estate planning is literally what it is: planning out your estate, planning out your wealth for the next generation, right? And when it comes to building wealth, you have to know what is your goal. Is your goal to protect it? Is your goal to just build it? Is your goal to do nothing? What is the goal? Right? You have to know what your goal is. If you know what your goal is, then you'll be able to substantially build wealth the way you want to. And then you'll be able to properly establish or put trusts and holding companies and LLCs in place that will benefit the overall goal. That's the whole intention of having estate planning. What jewelry is going to be in there? Are there any valuables you want in your estate planning? Is there any cars that are they just a business car, or are they a valuable? If they're a valuable, then they're not going to be up under the LLCs. They're going to be up under the trusts. So it all depends on the actual goal in which you're having each asset. If you have life insurance, there are trusts dedicated for life insurance policies. Or do you want it to be up under the family trust and have it be for the family? It's up to you. But this is what I'm saying. It has to be a goal. It all depends on the goal. Okay? This is the key thing that I'm mentioning. Right? So I really wanted to break this down, y'all. I wanted to break this down because I wanted y'all to understand that this is how you build wealth. You want to build it in a way that helps benefit you and your goal. And I really wanted to break this down in massive detail because this is how it's going to work. It doesn't work any other way. It doesn't. Okay? So, this is what I wanted to say, y'all. If y'all got any questions, please leave them down there. If not, you all could just go to this link that I already placed in the chat. If you got any questions, go to the link in the chat. Okay, this will literally go to this link right here. Go to that link right there. I'm gonna put it in the chat for y'all. This will literally show you, and I'll have a conversation, and we'll personalize it straight for you. Apply, get started, learn how to protect your family, learn how to take your family to the next level, learn generational thinking, become a generational thinker. So if you're like, yo, I'm tired of being where I'm at right now, my situation isn't what I want it to be, and you're wanting to take your life to the next level. And I'm telling you, this is only for the people who are serious and not curious. If you're not serious, we don't want to talk to you. So if you're serious, I want you to go ahead, click the link, get the link that's in the comment section, book a call with us, okay? Learn what it takes to build wealth. And learn what it takes to become a generational thinker. And like I say to everybody, we will see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. Okay. Click the link below. I appreciate y'all, and I will see you tomorrow. Well, we will be talking about a whole lot of different things as well. Peace out, y'all.